to help me out. Oh, I am so glad you're here this morning. We have another box. It's the knee box. Or it's the Igab box. Or it's our box. What's our box today? Love the Lord your God with all your heart and all your strength and all your soul and all your mind, and love your knee, Igab, hour, as yourself. What's this long, broken up word?
Neighbor.
Yes, neighbor. So that's the box that we have today that we're going to pile on top of here in a moment. But we have heart, and what's in the heart? Fist. We have soul. What's in the box? The soul box. Yeah, the little shoe in my stinky soul. What's in the strength box? Yeah, my wife Sarah's creepy doll arm collection. And what do we have in the mind? Your brain. And I'm curious what it is that we have in today's box. Have you ever heard the saying, strong fences or good fences make good neighbors? You ever hear that? How many of you have fences around your house? Yeah. Fences are funny things. Fences are our way of saying, hey, that's mine and it's not yours, which, sometimes it keeps us from loving people. Fences. You ever go to football game or?
Why does it look like a D and a fence?
It looks like a D and a fence. Say it quickly. D. 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 Defense. Defense. When you go to games and like hockey games, you have people shouting defense, or football games. There's the fence again. Sometimes the fences that we put up in our lives are too much. They got too much D in them. They're too defensive. They keep people out when what God does is God sometimes tears down fences or tears down walls. I couldn't fit an entire fence in this box, but you get the idea. Who wants to hold my defense? Okay. See how this basket here has really tight weaving to it? Imagine this is a fence where you can kind of see. Can I stick that in your face? You can see through it, but not very well. You see through that? Not very well. Can you see through that, Emily? Uh-huh. You kind of see through it, but not very well. You can see through that, right? But not very well. Sometimes the fences that we build between us and our neighbors, they're really walls. Building walls between people to say, hey, I own that, you don't touch my stuff, isn't very neighborly. What's that, Matt? And then we stand on our side of the fence and we go, defense, defense, trying to protect ourselves from what we think other people are going to do if we let them into our yards or into our lives. So when we think about love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself, we're thinking about making sure that we make available to everyone around us what we make available to ourselves. There's another thing. You ever have any neighbors come over to your house and say, I ran out of sugar, and borrow sugar from you? Here, let me show you. This is our mystery. This is our mystery object that I'm putting in the box. When we moved into our house, we forgot to pack our sugar. And so we wanted to make something, but we didn't have the sugar to do it. So we walked next door and we knocked on the neighbor's front door and we said, can I borrow a cup of sugar? And our neighbor said, well, of course, I've got lots of sugar. I'll share my sugar with you. And we brought it back and we made something with it. And that's what the mystery is going to be. What could you make with this cup of sugar? Cake. Ooh, that would be nice. Yes, you could make cake with, let me consult with our professionals. Could you make cake with this cup of sugar? Uh-huh. What else could you make? Pardon?
Muffins.
You can make muffins. Let me consult with our professionals. Marie Campbell. Could you make muffins with a cup of sugar? She thinks so. Anything else you could make with a cup of sugar?
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids. That's wonderful. I've never thought of that. Sour Patch Kids. Well, we don't know what we're going to make with this cup of sugar, but I'm going to put it in the box with our defense and with our almost a wall, and we're going to move it over to, this one's really heavy, and I practiced before church putting it up. So I'm going to need maybe just your eyeballs rather than your arms to help me center this.
Okay, so I put my eyeballs on it.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to say, put your eyeballs out there on the box. So let's put this up here. And is it wiggling?
What if it falls overnight?
Yeah. So, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? It all falls over. But there we go. We got our neighbor. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your strength, your mind, and love your neighbor. And we'll find out next week. Okay, before we go downstairs, let's give a blessing. This is what we do. We stand up, we turn around, find Grandma and Grandpa, and look them right in the eyeballs, and say, may God bless you as you stay to hear God's word. And they'll say, may God bless you as you go to hear God's word. All right, let's follow the children's worship leaders downstairs, or children's worship leaders follow the kids downstairs.